Cool. All right. I believe we got it going. Hello,
Cool.
everybody. I'm doing another exciting interview with Dane Myers. He's a musician and he's an advocate for the earth, pro green, and we're going to talk about his world. And Dane, a little bit about this. It's all about kind of getting to know strangers. So it's like really cool that I now know you exist. Thank you for taking the time to chat and just do tell me what your world's about. Tell me everything. Tell me.
Yeah. So I live in my Tesla here. This is my bed and my girlfriend's pillow up there. That's Checkers sitting on the back. That's my bedside table. Is that back shelf? I am a producer. I come from a background of like producing for other artists and singing, songwriting, and doing videography as well. And so, just the last couple of years, I learned a lot about sustainability and climate change, and it really made me, I don't know, just really made me see my life in a different way. And so that really affected my music and video as well. And so I do a lot of like sustainability kind of projects and make a lot of music videos about those kinds of topics. It's just like, what is it like being a human in a world in the context of what's happening in the world, which is, in my eyes, predominantly things happening related to climate change. So,
Okay, dig it. Now, do you really live in your car? Because I noticed that you have that song "Living in My Tesla." That's based on real things, huh?
yeah, so I was living in Miami in Little Haiti, and the rent's really expensive in Miami, and I wanted to get an electric car, and so I just swapped paying rent for a car payment, and I had a great space to park at this like vegan farm called Earth and Us, and there was like an outdoor shower there and an outdoor kitchen, and so it's really like it's possible to sleep in your car and be comfortable in an electric vehicle because you can leave the car off and still have air conditioning and heat if you need it, and like the car has like Netflix on it.
Wow.
Last week.
Okay.
But it's really about like being able to put yourself in a space that can meet your other needs. So like for a time I was taking showers at like Planet Fitness, which gets old really, really quickly. But if you can be somewhere where there's like an outdoor shower. So right now I'm parked at this awesome spot in Orlando. Actually, I'm here at my girlfriend's family's house today visiting for her birthday, but in Orlando where I live now, it's called the Peanut Butter Palace. And it's like we have solar on the roof, so I charge the car with solar energy. We have an outdoor shower in the back. And then also on the inside, I pay like $50 a month rent, so I can like use the kitchen inside and I can use like the study to work. And so I get to be part of community, and I'm not like sitting in my bedroom all day, but I still have like the benefits of like not renting a room in a house. So if I need to go somewhere, whatever, I can, like have access to lodging easily. And I also record in here. So like I have it right here. So when I'm working on songs, this is my microphone, and it just goes on a suction cup, like right here on this glass roof.
Nice.
And then so I'll take my bed apart and I'll put my bed up around me here so that it's isolated like a studio would be.
Right.
And then that's how this transforms into like a recording studio.
Yeah, no,
of sorts. Yeah.
I always love how cars have pretty good acoustics. So.
Yeah, for sure.
It's cool that you do all that. So everyone can find you on Dane Myers Music. So you just gotta search those words, and the links will be in there and all that. So with your music, tell me about this drive-in climate concert. What's that about?
Yeah, so I mean, we have unlimited access to things in our computer, like if we want entertainment or we want like to see things. So in-person experiences really mean a lot to me because there's just things that you can experience in person that you can't through a screen.
Yeah.
And so in a time of COVID where people are concerned to gather, doing a drive-in concert is a great way to still get people to come out and do something in person, but to still feel like they're safe inside their own vehicle. especially if you have an electric car where you can leave your car off and still have access to like climate control, then driving concerts are super fun. And so I just have a little transmitter that I plug my sound into, and then it transmits the keyboard I'm playing and the drum pad I'm playing and my microphone through to people's car radios so they can tune in, like if they're at a drive-in theater.
Yeah.
And then I can actually power the show off of this Tesla. So the last show I played, I've wired this car so that I can like add an inverter to it, and I can get like 2,500 watts of power. So I blow up like a 20-foot projector screen, and then like all the instruments and things. And so it's like when I charge the car from solar, then those shows are a solar powered, Tesla powered drive-in concert. And part of that is, a lot of songs inspired by climate change, but there's also like a couple of moments of education where I think there are things that I can point out that have been really transformative for me in my story. So I'll point those out during the show as well. But it's a lot of fun. I think still people are, I still can't wait till we can play like regular shows where everybody can like, just have a rager and play to a room full of people again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's really. Now, do you try to, you have your concerts, but how do you kind of relate those things? Like there's lyrics and all that, but how do you do earth-friendly tips? What do you try to convey to people? What's your biggest message? You say climate change, but how do you try to push that agenda in a way?
Well, there's several dimensions of it. Like one of them is as a human. I'm 27, and I remember as a kid, like sometimes as a kid you just think random things, and as a kid I thought 27 would be how old I would be when I had kids. And becoming more aware of what's going on, I don't know how I feel about that. So like I have a song about like the daughter that I may have had by now, and it's called Nona, which is always like a beautiful name, I thought. And so it's just kind of exploring like what is it like to be at the age, I have a wonderful partner in my life, and kind of in the season of my life where you'd be thinking about starting a family, but how difficult that is when you're also challenged with the reality of what life would be like for the next generation. So anyway, there's some more personal stuff like that. At one point I show a graph of how there's more carbon dioxide in the atmosphere than there has been in the last million years. And so that's just like for some context of how much more there is than there has been in the last million years. Yeah. And I have some footage in there of walking in king tide in Miami. So the streets are like, water is like filled up to the, the doorsteps of houses on a sunny day, which is pretty trippy for sea level rise down south. And then like you said, like a lot of the songs are just about, sometimes it's sad, like Nona, and sometimes it's like, there are definitely things to celebrate deeply, and like shouting out people who are doing great work, and I have this necklace from the Tesla video here, and I think this is like, I love this because people ask me constantly, like, a lot of times they read it wrong. They'll be like, what does it mean, carbon prints? But it's like, how much fun can you have being aware of what's going on? Because I think that passion and like having fun is what attracts people to feel empowered to get involved, instead of like being like gloom and doom about it, where people just like have enough problems and it doesn't empower them or doesn't change them. I think that like what's happening right now, the world will either fundamentally transform, in which case there is a chance for all of us to be part of it, or it will not, and society will collapse and it won't matter what we do now. So it's like, it's in a way, it's like very, debilitating, but it's also a great opportunity to, and a great example of that, like just to get super capitalistic for a second, is I took money that I saved from sleeping in the car and I invested that into Tesla, which has like had an amazing year. So I like just by the thought process of like, either we will adopt renewable technology from companies that will contribute to solving climate change, or society will collapse and it won't matter what we invest in. like that has had like a positive experience on my finances. So like I really want to explore this idea that embracing the reality of what's happening is full of amazing opportunities, and my job is just to follow through as passionately as possible and be around other people that like share that experience.
Cool. First off, can you hold up your necklace emblem so we can all clearly, so we don't misinterpret it. There we
Yeah.
go. And then
Do you know what this is? Carbon price?
No.
So a lot of the people who are looking at how to solve climate change, the idea is that right now it's really cheap to go fill up your car with gas, or to like buy electricity from a utility that uses natural gas or coal. But even though it's really cheap for us to pay for that energy now, there's all these costs that get passed on to the future. So like when you pay for electricity from coal, you're paying one price, but there's also all these other costs in terms of natural disasters and humans that have to like move because, you know, they can't grow the same crops in their, you know, other parts of the world. So we externalize these costs. And so a price on carbon is basically like a tax. And so what that says is like, okay, we're gonna charge people the true cost of what these carbon intensive energy sources really cost us. Like it's like cigarettes. Like, you know, we have to pay for people to take care of them when they have respiratory problems from smoking cigarettes. So there's a tax on cigarettes so that less people will smoke and incur future costs. So it's like, how can we take those future costs of climate change and start to slowly build them into the cost of fossil fuels now? And then the leading like bill, because there's actually like a bill in the Senate right now for pricing carbon. And I would say the leading bill is HR 763, which is the Carbon Fee and Dividend Act. And the idea is like, okay, let's tax things that are going to hurt us so that we do less of it. And then let's take that money that tax generates and let's just give it to people so that they can afford to get solar, so that they can afford to get an electric car. Because a lot of people can't afford to make that transition. And it's important that everybody has an opportunity to be part of a cleaner future. And so that's why this is so important to me, is because all of the solutions are depending on fixing that failure in our market to price fossil fuels accurately. And once they are fixed, then a lot of the mechanisms in the free market that we already have as part of our society can take over and can start, new companies can develop new technology because now they can get compensated fairly for their efforts. Subsidies on fossil fuels go away and make them less attractive for people. And then everybody can get mobilized starting to make the transition. So that's why I feel like this is important enough to like make a necklace of it and like wear it around in stupid videos and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So,
Cool. Well, now we have all that information recorded.
Yeah.
So hopefully people can take that. Just to have a few wrap-up questions. Tell me your relation to Before It's Too Late. And I stumbled upon a weekly challenge or a week-long challenge. If you want to get into that briefly.
So my relationship to Before It's Too Late, I was making an album on a road trip before I really got into climate change. I was just starting to become interested in it. And I wanted to go to Miami and learn about sea level rise as like the end of my road trip and the end of the album. And so I got on YouTube and I was like watching YouTube videos of people doing sustainability stuff in Miami. And one of the things that came up was Linda Chung, the founder of Before It's Too Late. And she said something like, you know, we use art and technology to inspire people to care about climate change. And I was like, that's who I want to work with. That's it. You know, that's my sweet spot. And so I just like, I don't know, I found someone's Instagram tag in the video that I was watching and I like hit them up and I was like, hey, you know, I'll come shoot video for you. I just like want to hang out and contribute to what y'all are doing. And so I went out and I shot video for them. I had a drone and they were doing a mural. And I was like, hey, do you know Linda Chung? And they're like, oh yeah, Linda, you know, she's like over at her boyfriend's studio. He's an artist, blah, 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 blah. So I just like met enough of her friends that eventually someone gave me her contact info and like sent her a text for me. And she was so inspiring because she was doing all the things that like I aspired to do. And she really let me be part of what was going on. Like I got to write some music for an augmented reality climate mural that they were making in downtown Wynwood.
Nice.
And that's when I got bit by the bug. She got me a job working for a solar company down there, which was completely a dream. And I worked there for almost 2 years. And she moved in, she became my roommate. We moved into this farm in Little Haiti together. And now like my girlfriend and she are like best friends. She's coming over for Chinese New Year, which is on Friday. Yeah, she's like my sister by choice. Like I have so much love for her, and she really set me off on this course in such a special way. So yeah, I'm so glad you asked about her because she's
No, I'm always happy to introduce to different nonprofits or things that want to help out. So finally, what is just something you can convey to the general public? Just something you want, a message you want to give out. I know you stated a lot, but what's a short, brief, let's do this, people, kind of thing.
I don't know, just do whatever you want, you know? Like if you do what you want, you'll always be doing what you want.
There you go.
Yeah, so what I before you said brief, where my head went was I want to bring up this idea I've been thinking about a lot recently and see what you think about it.
Go for it.
I feel like for all of human history, because it's like cultural, right? Like we're making music and we're doing a podcast. Like this is about culture and like storytelling. And I would speculate that our history has always been about a culture that promotes growth. So every aspect of our society, like all of our stories are about, and like especially in popular music today and TV, it's super obvious. It's like, you know, like materialism, like survival, offspring, like so these things are so fundamental to who we are as a culture that like we can't even see it because it's so in front of us. But I would speculate that our entire culture is built around this idea of growth. Now, in the last couple hundred of years, you could say, we passed a threshold in our world, which is like our carrying capacity. So we grew past what our planet could sustain. Mm-hmm. Now, what happens to our entire like 2,000 plus years of culture once growth is now detrimental to our society? Where growth is now a risk for us versus reducing the risk for us. So now growth is like a problem. How does that transform the stories that we tell and the way that we, you know, see ourselves? Like, how does that transform our identity? And so anyway, that's a question that I think a lot about because I think it totally disrupts the whole narrative of our society. And I just think all the implications of that are fascinating. So yeah, I would like, if anyone else finds that interesting, like I just wanted to share that thought process. Yeah.
Well, okay. So you gave us a lot of information. Please, anyone watching this, rewind as much as possible to take it all in. And you can find Dane at Dane Myers Music. Everything Dane. The links will be on my stuff. It was nice chatting with you. I hope we can do this again one day.
Yeah, I kind of feel like I want to like have you over and hear more about your life story. I think podcasts like kind of can be one-sided, like you're interviewing me, but now I feel like a little unfulfilled, wanting to know more about you as well. So
no, well, we could definitely chat it up more. And
cool.
The whole point is, yeah, we want to get to know you. This is my neck of the woods, getting to understand your neck of the woods, and that's what it's all about. This is you did more than enough. It's awesome. So thank you.
Cool. Thanks for having me.
All right. Take care.